If you want a better serve, you got to practice 3 drills at home. Stick around. I'm going to show you what it looks like in front of the camera. Let me show you great servers practicing these 3 positions. First, look at Federer here. Strings are pointing down, and notice the racket is at around shoulder level. When you lift the racket up after tossing, try to have your racket level where you could actually place a ball in the throat of the racket. This gets you primed and ready to use the most powerful service motion you can. Now, JJ Wolf is going to show us the second idea, and this is knock the birthday hat off your head. By the way, this is the Roger Federer position, right? The racket's around shoulder level and the strings are facing down. You could place a ball in the throat of the racket, but look how the racket travels like this. Look how the racket, this is called right to left on the camera's view. If he were wearing a birthday hat, he would knock the birthday hat off of his head going like this. Wear a physical birthday hat and knock the birthday hat off once the strings are pointing down. And if you're right-handed, tip of the racket pointing off to the right. As you raise the racket, knock the physical birthday hat off of your head from front to back. It'll get you crushing your serves. And if you're looking for the ultimate drill to get rid of your waiter's tray serve and just absolutely blast the ball, look at Felix Auger-Aliassime right here. Isn't it kind of funny looking that it looks like he's going to use the back of the strings to hit the ball? That's actually a drill I have my students do. See, he's going to be supinated here, and then he starts pronating, and all of a sudden he's on edge, and then he keeps pronating, and he's actually hitting an out wide serve here to pull the opponent off the court. You're going to pronate on every serve you hit. But what you can actually practice to get rid of your waiter's tray, instead of having your strings face up in this position, which most players do, and everyone does when they're first learning the game, have your strings face down, and I want you to practice hitting the ball with the back side of the racket just to feel what this is like. Then as you approach at the last second, you can pronate, and all that power that came from the palm down and knock off the birthday hat culminates in the biggest serve you've ever hit. So the first drill I want you to practice at home to get these 3 positions that you just saw with the pros is to toss the ball and just freeze when the racket is at shoulder level. Take a ball and place it in the throat of the racket, and the ball should just stay there. Players who go into the waiter's tray or have an abbreviated motion, they get the racket vertical very early, and that's what leads to the racket laying open. Forget about this trophy position, where as soon as you toss the ball, you try to get your hand above the elbow. I want you to lift your racket up while elbowing someone behind you, and the racket is parallel to the ground. And an easy way to make sure of that is to simply just place a ball in the throat of the racket. So this is a drill that you should be practicing at home if you're currently struggling with your service motion. Got it? Number 2, wear a birthday hat on your head and knock off the birthday hat from front to back during a real serve. Back in 2014, I was teaching a bunch of 8-year-olds. I still remember, it was a Thursday class, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And they were all going into the waiter's tray, right? They're 8 years old, they're learning tennis. And I said, hey, everyone, I said, look, unicorns cannot serve correctly. And they all laughed. And I said, but it's true, because the racket would hit their horn and the racket would stop. So unicorns can only serve with their strings facing up, and we want to pass the racket in over the head and be circular with our movement. So I was driving home that day and I thought, oh my gosh, I got to get birthday hats on their heads. So the next week I had birthday hats ready for them, and what a difference, because it gave them instant feedback. And it was a little bit of peer pressure, right? You got little Johnny over there and Bobby's going, wait a minute, he's hitting the birthday hat, I want to hit the birthday hat too. And so it was a really cool exercise in learning how to not just make this move, but make a circular motion for a efficient power. So please wear a birthday hat. Remember, it's got to be an actual unicorn horn. Put it slightly in the front. That way when you look up, it is ready to be hit. Number 3, many players will practice this move. Elbow back, palm down, they can put a ball in the throat. They'll even knock off the birthday hat beautifully, and they send me videos of them doing this. But then they get to here and they open up their racket and they go flat into the ball, no spin. They're trying to make this move, no pronation, and they simply cannot hit spin or speed like they know they can.
So here's a drill if that describes you or a student of yours. What you can have the student do, or what I want you to try, is I want you to practice palm down, knock off the birthday hat, practice using the wrong side of the strings. We just saw Felix in this position, the elbow from back, driving forward and up, and the strings were actually facing slightly down. Well, it almost looked like he was going to stay in that position if you didn't know any better. It almost looked like he was going to stay in that position and hit the wrong side of the racket. Now, we all know it goes like this, and at the last second they turn and they keep pronating. Well, why not just embrace this look and actually hit some serves where you're using the wrong side of the racket? So I'm going to hit a couple serves here. And it's a little weird, so your arm's kind of bent when you do it. It's not ideal, the position. But you're just feeling what it's like to have your strings face this position. Now, I'm going to hit a serve. And my goal is to toss, knock off the birthday hat, the imaginary birthday hat, and then I'm going to try to make it look like I'm going to hit the ball with the back side of the racket, with the wrong side. And at the last second, I'm going to turn the way we just saw with Felix. So check out this one in slow motion. My goal is to make it look like I'm going to use the back side, but I'm not. Now, if you're looking for people in your local area to play matches against or practice with, or if you want to find a coach who's close to you who can help you with your game, then use my link for Play Your Court, and it's playyourcourt.com/2minutetennis. When you use my link to sign up, you get 50% off. Toss and have your racket parallel to the ground. Knock off a birthday hat, and every once in a while, practice using the wrong side of the racket to feel what it's like to actually come up with your strings tilted down like Felix, and then obviously pronate from there. You do these 3 drills every day. Do them with your students, do them with your child, or for yourself. And there's no doubt you're going to gain confidence, win more matches, and play much better tennis. This is Ryan Reedy from 2minutetennis.net. You got this.